had TikTok for around 6 years, and now that I'm older, I notice the effect it's had on me. For those who don't know, TikTok is a social media platform where people can post short videos of them talking, dancing to a video, doing comedy skits, and more. The videos you see are your feed, and it changes based on the videos you like. So naturally, as I grew up, my feed changed. It started out as a social media platform where I saw dancing videos, then it moved on to be funny skits, and now it's made up of videos of animals, makeup, and clothing. The platform has also become an outlet for people to talk about their mental health. I believe it's good that there's a bigger awareness about mental health and that those who have mental health problems don't feel alone. But I have noticed something with the way this issue is expressed on the platform and the way it affected me. Teenagers' minds are growing and being persuaded. RaisingChildren.net explained how the prefrontal cortex is the decision making part of the brain and it plans and thinks about the consequences of action, solving problems, and controlling impulses. When we are in our teenage years, the prefrontal cortex is still being developed, meaning that we are more susceptible to being persuaded. This being said, I noticed when scrolling through my feed that the information I was receiving was changing the way I thought and acted. For example, my sense of style changed depending on the styles I saw on the app. I became informed about topics I didn't even know existed, and I knew about problems happening in countries across the world. But as I was absorbing the good, I noticed I was also absorbing the bad. Not everyone thinks in a positive way, and not everyone copes in a healthy way. I remember seeing a video on TikTok in which a girl discussed that in order to cope with her depression and other mental health illnesses, she resorted to not eating. When I saw this, I was already fairly old, so I knew not to look too much into it. But I thought about the younger kids watching these videos and copying this idea. Ricky Schatz, a journalist for New York Post, wrote how psychologists have noticed a wave of adolescent girls claiming to suffer from mental health conditions like borderline personality disorder and bipolar disorder and more, conditions that are not typically seen in teens. The psychologists noticed that the common denominator between these symptomatic girls has been consuming mental health content on TikTok. Schatz also saw it within her own friend group, explaining how many of her friends who are habitual social media users have self harmed, and when seeing their feed, a lot of posts on her friend's feed were about self harming. Of course, mental health issues are something that many go through. And before TikTok existed, teenagers had experienced problems like anxiety and depression. But it has been proven that ever since technology became a daily thing, these mental health problems have skyrocketed, and teenagers are currently going through a mental health crisis never seen before. All4Kids.org found that the effects of technology on children and youth are not only spreading to a larger population, but have also shown to be long lasting. To put things into perspective, about 50% of lifetime mental illness cases started at the age of 14, and 75% began by the age of 24. Due to this, psychologists are researching the effect of the most popular social media platforms at the time, specifically TikTok. I think the most important takeaway from this is realizing how we can make social media a safer place. I believe talking about mental health is extremely important and healthy, and expressing these concerns on social media can be a healthy way to cope. But in order to have a safe environment, we need to ensure that the social media platforms are discussing these topics in the correct way. As technology has progressed, kids have started consuming things on social media from younger and younger ages. We can make sure that the younger generations grow up with a healthy mindset about mental health if we start to filter and discuss mental health correctly on social media.